Olá, pessoas! Estamos de volta com mais um Dragon Age Inquisition. E eu tava ansiosa pra jogar de novo. Faz um tempinho que eu não jogo. Porque, né, o Porta voltou aí das férias e tudo mais. Então eu meio que parei de jogar pra reorganizar as coisas. Mas agora estou de volta. Né? E lembro que fizemos a missão Olhos e Corações Maldosos. Então, provavelmente sim, né? Terminou uma quest principal, deve ter várias, não sei, talvez novas cenas com as companions e tudo mais. Então eu vou sair por aí fazendo exatamente isso, checando, até pra eu lembrar também, né? De tudo. Não tem nada aqui, né? Não? Vamos falar com a Cassandra. Ó.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra?
Ah, é verdade, eles querem que...
Sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
Da nova
And
divina.
you think I could make them agree? I've had enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Sua moral tá baixa, minha querida.
The fun never ends in Skyhold, does it?
The Inquisitor was hilarious. That's what they'll say one day. You watch. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Isso seria possível?
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
Nossa, é muita cozice, né? Perguntar isso, né? Por que eu não sou... Ai, me poupe.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
The Chantry has failed, Cassandra.
I wonder if the legions of faithful throughout Thedas would agree with you. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
Exatamente o que eu falei, entendeu? Se ela usou um exemplo, tipo assim, ela me desaprovou, mas ela usou um exemplo que, tipo, apenas confirmou o que eu falei. Ou seja, o Varric é uma pessoa que acredita, mas ele não coloca os pés na Chantria. Ou seja, a Chantria falhou, cara, porque a Chantria não representa mais isso atualmente ali no mundo deles. Não representa isso, cara. É tipo, é uma ferramenta opressiva, entendeu? Contra os magos. É isso! Assim, what the hell? Ela me desaprova e prova o meu ponto.
You're not the only candidate. What about Leliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
Mas é sempre assim, né, cara? A mudança sempre vai causar caos.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
É muito, assim, nobre, né, o que ela quer. Mas, assim, funcionaria, talvez por um tempo.
So this is your new crusade?
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you?
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
Tá, tem mais alguma coisa pra falar? Tem. Eita, várias cutscenes. Ah, ela tá lendo o livro do...
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, because I suddenly went blind.
Oh, that. Just reports from Commander Cullen.
You're an excellent liar.
It's of no interest to you, I'm certain. It's a book.
I can see that.
It's one of Varric's tales. Swords and Shields, the latest chapter.
The latest chapter? Meaning you've read them all?
Not since this all began. We've been busy.
That's just her favorite.
Nobody asked you to filter.
I couldn't finish the last one you lent me. I actually feel dumber for having tried.
It's literature. Smutty literature. Whatever you do, don't tell Varric.
Why not? I think Varric would be pleased to have another fan.
Pleased? Yes, that's one word for it. They're terrible. And magnificent. And this one ends in a cliffhanger. I know Varric is working on the next. He must be. Pretend you don't know this about me.
Ai, ai. Será que tem alguma coisa mais? Acho que
I
não.
trust
Acabou,
all
né?
is well.
So you're a candidate for Divine now?
So I am informed.
Is that something you actually want?
Why should what I want matter?
Why shouldn't it matter? Don't you have the right to be happy?
It is very simple. The Chantry needs to survive. To do that, it must change. I have never believed in asking another to do what you are unwilling to do yourself. So I look upon this as an opportunity. I owe it to myself and all of Thedas to seek the Sunburst throne.
There are other ways you can change things.
Perhaps. I may not have a choice in the matter if the Chantry clerics pick another.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Ok. Tá, mas vamos entrar aqui primeiro. Ó. Porra de Gils tudo, né?
Of course.
Oh, my maker, you cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut, although it is yet bewildering at the center.
How's it going? Do we have what we need?
With Skyhold shining like a beacon? You name it, it's here or on the way. I've wrung out the slackers, given them what for. I think I like this job.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral.
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
Tá bom.
As you were.
Vou resolver isso.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. Vamos ali falar com a Sarah e o Iron Bull. Bull.
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
The politicking we saw at Halam Shiral might seem pointless, but it's the beating heart of the Empire. The winner of the game is the one who best builds alliances, controls what's discussed and what's decided.
So it rewards manipulation instead of rewarding the ability to get stuff done. I don't know. The Qun isn't perfect, but it doesn't care what any single person wants. Orlais is full of people who care about nothing else.
É, assim, nenhum totalmente é bom, mas também, né, o Qun também não é perfeito, né? Ih, olha lá.
One for the Empress, for Gaspar, Brianna, the Duchess, and Corypheus, right in the dangle bag.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a butt for the throne? A pretty one, sure, but how many lives are worth one Empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
We decided the course of a nation. I think it was worthwhile.
Right, Orlais will never be the same. Except for everything they say and do. Ugh, you know the most important thing I got out of all of that mess? The one thing. Don't sleep with Empresses. That's what that was all about. We patched their spat, Briala and the Celine. But without their breakup, none of it would have happened like that.
There was a lot more going on than a lover's spat.
Oh, sure.
There was.
Because of the hole in the sky, pff, plenty of idiots around before, and there'll be plenty of idiots around after. Better save some arrows, yeah?
Sim, eu queria que tivesse uma maneira melhor de falar assim, ô Sarah, tu realmente tá achando que tudo aquilo ali foi só porque elas brigaram? Não é possível.
Lordy bloomers.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Eu acho meio podre, assim, que tu sabe, a Sarah, ela tem essa opção que você simplesmente pode expulsar ela a qualquer momento.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Of course.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
What did you think of the masks?
What masks?
The masks? Everyone had them on their faces.
Those weren't their faces.
Talk to you later.
How do you know?
Ok. Estamos procurando especificamente cutscene, gente, pois... já falamos com todos. Vamos ver se o Blackwall tem algo pra dizer. Aquele ponto de exclamação tá bugado ali. Não.
Nothing
Beleza.
right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Então vamos entrar em... Vamos entrar por aqui. Hello?
First, a full wheel of Antivan smoked cheese, and now 3 royals worth of crushed mint. They were right here. I remember seeing someone take them. I can't recall.
Alô? Gente, que lugar é esse? Mas, gente, tem uma escada aqui, olha. Vou falar com o Varric.
Worthy of the Inquisition.
I told them the offer was the best we could do.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Cassandra is waiting for the next issue of Swords and Shields.
I must have heard that wrong. It sounded like you just said that Cassandra read my books.
She's a pretty big fan, in fact.
Are we talking about the same Cassandra? Tall, grumpy seeker, like stabbing things? Wait, did you say the romance serial? Oh, she'll be waiting for a while then. I haven't finished it and wasn't planning to. That book is easily the worst I've ever written. The last issue barely sold enough to pay for the ink.
Não à toa ela se envergonhou.
I'm sure it's not as terrible as you think.
There are a number of critics who'd be happy to argue with you. So, you want me to finish writing the latest issue of my worst serial? For Cassandra? Oh, that's such a terrible idea. I have to do it. On one condition. I get to be there when you give her the book.
You've got a deal.
I'll get to work then. You know, the
Mas
fact
eu nem...
that the book is terrible just makes it more worthwhile somehow.
Eu nem marquei a opção de dar ele pra presente. Eu não lembro se eu posso dar de presente como amigo. Espero que sim, né? Porque, tipo...
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shirao, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
You miss court intrigue? When were you at court?
Oh, well, never directly, of course. An elven apostate is rarely invited to speak with empresses and kings. But from the Fade, I have watched dynasties form and empires crumble. It is sometimes savage, sometimes noble, and always fascinating. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally. And Brialla as well, thanks to your efforts on her behalf.
I hope Brialla is able to use her position to help your people.
How would helping Brialla help? Oh, you mean elves? I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Vai tomar no seu cu, Solas. É mesmo, tu não tem não, concordo, tá?
Or should you? You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are.
Falso do caralho, meu.
As for the elves of Orlais, I believe Brialla is doing quite well on their behalf. She is an admirable woman.
She's done good work. Hopefully, with our help, she can help them even more.
Yes. However much I identify, or fail to identify, with her people, Brialla's efforts have been remarkable. She organized resistance against a powerful enemy, using only her wits and the resources in hand.
Ai, gente, ai que...
Respect, especially in a world where most would look at her and only see a pair of pointed ears.
Ai, tá bom, Solas, tá bom. Então tá bom, Mona. Bora. Já largou as drogas, meu querido?
Gloat all you like. I have this one.
Are you sassing me, Commander? I didn't know you had it in you.
Why do I even... Inquisitor.
leaving, are you? Does this mean I win?
Gente, can you imagine esses dois homens maravilhosos, sabe, jogando xadrez? Como assim?
Are you two playing nice?
I'm always nice. You need to come to terms with my inevitable victory. You'll feel much better.
Really? Because I just won, and I feel fine.
Don't get smug. There will be no living with you.
I should return to my duties as well.
A BioWare sabia o que estava fazendo, tá? Quando ele botou esses dois personagens juntos, jogando.
As a child, I played this with my sister. She would get this stuck-up grin whenever she won, which was all the time. My brother and I practiced together for weeks. Oh, the look on her face the day I finally won. Between serving the Templars and the Inquisition, I haven't seen them in years. I wonder if she still plays.
You have siblings?
2 sisters and a brother.
Where are they now?
They moved to South Reach after the Blight. I do not write to them as often as I should. Ah, it's my turn.
All right, let's see what you've got.
This may be the longest we've gone without discussing the Inquisition, or related matters. To be honest, I appreciate the distraction.
You can't be serious all the time. Well, maybe you can.
I believe this one is yours. Well played.
Fofos. Ok. Quer falar mais alguma coisa, Colin?
First the Templars, now the Grey Wardens. Both devoted their lives to fighting evil. Now they serve it.
What better way to demoralize the people of Thedas than to corrupt their heroes? If Corypheus appears with Templars and Wardens at his side, why shouldn't they follow too?
Because now is not the time to lose hope. The Inquisition must serve as an example. We must stand where others fall.
That's all for now.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Vamos. Vamos falar com o Dorian e a Leliana. Ah, deve ter diálogo, né, sobre esse negócio de virar divina e tal.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. Saving the day, reconciling lovers, mediating a civil war. So sugary, it's nauseating. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
Happy to oblige. A taste of home just for you.
Not just for me. Fun for the whole family.
Perhaps I should have invited some.
We were there. That's what counts. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
Nossa, imagina se começa um romance ali com ele. Cara, será que a Josephine fica... Depois eu vou procurar no YouTube, assim, tipo, possíveis diálogos, sabe? Fica chateado? Tipo assim, porra, achei que tu tava... Cadê a Liliana? Tá ali.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
Mas eu queria... Peraí.
I'm listening.
Não, ela não fala. Porque a Cassandra, ela fala, né? Como que ela agiria como divina e tal. Qual, tipo, assim, é o que ela quer, né? Achei que a Leliana ia falar alguma coisa também. Tá, vamos descer. O que falta falar mesmo? Dá o livro pra Cassandra? Vamos ver isso.
What have you done now?
I get it, Seeker. You're still sore after our spat.
I'm not a child, Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason.
A peace offering. The next chapter of Swords and Shields. I hear
Simplesmente o Varric escreveu uma fanfic em 10 minutos, né?
This is your doing.
Oh, yes. Do you really think I'd miss this?
Well, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Still needs editing anyhow.
Wait!
You're probably wondering what happens to the Knight Captain after the last chapter.
Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused.
Well, it turns out the guardsmen...
Don't tell me!
This is the part where you thank the Inquisitor. I don't normally give sneak peeks, after all.
Thank you.
Varric's the one you should be thanking.
I am but a humble servant to my loyal readers.
I wonder if I have time to read the first part.
Don't forget to tell all your friends, if you have any. Completely worth it.
Com seus amigos, se você tiver alguns. Não, pô, mas eu ia falar alguma coisa que ela comentou ali que eu achei engraçado, pô. Nossa, minha mente completamente assim. Esqueci, pô. Cadê a Morgan? Olha lá ela. Ela e ele.
You're the Inquisitor. I thought you'd be scarier. Mother said you were scary.
Why would your mother say such a thing?
Because people fear the next stage if it comes too soon.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on his hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way.
Meu Deus, cara, como pode ser maravilhosa!
A quiet and well-spoken lad, perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Eu acho que assim, sabe, meu Inquisitor não, meu Grey Warden, ele teria falado não pra esse nome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
It would be most unlikely. His father helped raise Kieran for a time, but events have conspired to take him elsewhere. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
He seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise.
Não, eu não disse isso. Eu não disse isso.
The outside world. His future will be difficult enough without my adding to his burden. To think, until recently, this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tarar Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
Cara, que porra de frase foi aquela? Ele falando que transformou a parada... Meu, shut the fuck up, Inquisitor.
Greetings, Inquisitor.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah, yes. Whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kakari wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight.
The Blight began in the Kakari wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the Blight was defeated. We became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother, Inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like.
Okay. Só que minhas plantinhas já estão crescidas. Então. Aí, ó. O que tem aqui, meus queridos? O pessoal tá rezando. E o que tem aqui? Ah, é onde vai estar o Eluvia. Tá, beleza. Acho que agora só falta mesmo falar com a Josie. Né? Aqui... E o que tem aqui mesmo? Ah, não. Aqui sobe lá pra aquela parte da biblioteca e tal. Se tem alguém pra julgar... Ah, tem pra julgar a menina, né? A Floriane lá do negócio. A traidora. Vamos ver.
I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her soldiers are among the dignities already at risk of forfeiture. You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
Out of your element, Floriane. Welcome to the Inquisition. My party.
Meu grupo é my party. Eu acho que ele tá falando de, tipo, da festa dele, né? Porque ele tava na festa dela.
I realized he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celine does not know her fortune.
Like most nobility, she's never walked in the shoes of those she endangered. Lady Floriane, I give you a chance. Common work, farm work. Do some good.
Sentenced to walk with animals? How droll.
Ah, você tá muito tentado em falar exílio, né? Mas assim, eu já usei essa opção tantas vezes, né? E não tinha opção de prender. Cadê a Josephine? Vou falar com ela.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
They've already begun composing songs about it in Val Royale, no doubt. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
The Empress realized she was in danger.
She's always in danger. Those loyal to her should have practiced more vigilance. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
My favorite moment of the evening is still our waltz in the garden.
I could have danced with you for hours. We must do it again sometime.
Tá, peraí. Eu acho que antes de ver a War Table, vamos entrar aqui. Deixa eu ver. Vamos fazer aquela coisa assim que é meio desagradável, mas que é necessário, né, gente? Ah, eu tô com essa porra dessa roupa. Ok. Cassandra tá equipada com as paradas dela, tá? Sarah tá com o arquinho dela, tá? Dorian, cajado também. Ué, sério de novo? Ah, eu fui pra trás, né? Blackwall. Perfeito. Ó, tem uma aqui. Ah, não. Eu gosto daquele ali porque dá máximo e é 87 de dano. Esse aqui é meio que nichado, né, pra demônios. Cole. Ok. Vivienne. Tá com o cajado dela também. Solas, tá certo. O Varric é a Bianca. O Iron Bull. É o malho de Tácitos. Beleza. Armaduras. Vamos colocar, né? Armadura. Cassandra. Já tá com a armadura dela. Sarah. Tá certo. Dorian também tá certo. Blackwall também tá certo. O Cole tá certo, né? Acredito que sim. Pronto. Vivienne também tá com a armadura dela. Solas também. Varric. Não, o Varric tá com traje formal, pelo amor de Deus. Opa. E o Iron Boom. Eita. Com certeza. Qual a armadura que é... Ah, tá usando nesse. Beleza. E aí, acessórios, né? Tá tudo certo. O anel tá certo. Sacrifício de Andraste. Eu tô checando só pra eu poder sair vendendo todas essas paradas. Sabe, que eu não tô usando. Ah, eu usei o anel de poder. Puta que pariu. Eu vou guardar essas coisas aqui no depósito. Inventário. Pode guardar. Pode guardar. Pronto. Eu acho que não tem nenhuma plantinha pra... tem pra reabastecer, né? Mas... eu digo assim, pra aprimorar, deixa eu ver. Granada de confusão. Preciso de felandares. Felandares. Urtiga, felandares. Cura eu já tenho os 2. Regeneração. Nossa, preciso de 2 só. Isso aqui é lá na Sepulturas Esmeraldas. Mas vamos na mesa, o Artable, pra distribuir umas missões. E aí ver o que a gente vai fazer. Alfaiate da Corte Imperial. Ah, não, pô. É a concentração. Cadê a concentração fodástica? Aqui, ó. Concentração mestre. Exato.
is all quiet in the hissing wastes.
Any remaining Venatori are stragglers. I imagine their failure has set heads rolling.
Ó, tem coisas aqui. A Escola dos Magos. A situação está se desenrolando na cidade nevarrana de Cumberland, lugar da Escola dos Magos, que até o começo da Rebelião dos Magos era o centro filosófico do Círculo dos Magos. Agora quase toda abandonada, ela se tornou o lar de alguns refugiados magos. Isso despertou a ira dos cidadãos locais e multidões estão ameaçando atacar a escola e queimá-la inteira, sem que Duque Sandral faça nada para impedi-los. Agentes da Inquisição suspeitam que agentes Venatori estejam por trás das multidões querendo recuperar artefatos da escola, já que suas defesas mágicas estão violadas. Devemos mandar agentes para evacuar a escola. Eles podem ter tesourana junto com seus artefatos. Eu vou pegar a Liliana nesse. É um presente do Palácio Imperial. Minha querida embaixadora, a Marquesa Briala e eu gostaríamos de transmitir nossos melhores desejos ao Inquisidor e a toda a Inquisição. Embora espere poder fazer uma visita oficial à Fortaleza em futuro próximo, temo que o trabalho de restaurar o que Gaspar danificou requeira muito do meu tempo presente. Entretanto, minha querida Marquesa encontrou um modo de demonstrar adequadamente nosso apreço. Amigos dela descobriram evidências de uma trama dos Venatori contra um nobre nevarrano, Conde Octavian. Ela acredita que a intenção deles é emboscá-lo na estrada quando ele for à cidade de Nevar para encontrar o rei Marcos. As relações entre Nevar e Orley nunca foram amistosas e minha interferência seria mal interpretada. Você, por outro lado, poderia avisar o conde, privar os Venatores de uma vítima e ganhar o apoio para a Inquisição em Nevar em uma única tacada. Bora, Josie. E... eu preciso fazer, ó. Aqui, ó. O exército imperial ajudará as forças da Inquisição contra Corífios, mas eles também precisam enfrentar questões pendentes em casa. Fraquezas no véu, sem dúvida gravadas pelas fissuras, resultaram em demônios nas estradas entre Valforet e Montsimard. Em condições favoráveis, demandaria uma tomada de ação. Infelizmente, o maior número de viajantes nas estradas, mercadores tentando restaurar as rotas de comércio, civis desabrigados, retornando para casa depois da guerra, tornou a situação pior. Bora lá. Bora levar a Inquisição para acabar com isso. Tem muito mais quest, né, pelo visto aqui, só que agora nós temos missões. Aqui já o abismo, né? Exato. Ah, não, isso aqui é aquela... É a DLC, né, pô? Não, vamos fazer DLC ainda não. Vamos fazer assim. Vamos desbloquear uma dessas aqui, ó. Investir em arroz, ruínas. Tá, vamos depois disso aqui. Vamos desbloquear as planícies exaltadas, né? Agora não. E vamos desbloquear Empresa do Leon. Na real, acho que eu posso ir lá. Vamos aqui, vamos iniciar, vamos levar Cassandra, Solas, na verdade... Vou tentar levar o Iron Bull e o Dorian. Vamos ver. E aí, acho que antes de eu fazer aqui já o abismo, né? Eu vou tentar desbloquear um pouco esses dois mapas, né? O Empresa do Leon e as planícies exaltadas para poder pegar recurso, Tudo bem que eu tô ficando totalmente overlevel, né? Mas eu gosto de explorar os mapas e tudo mais. Eu acho que eu não vou conseguir fazer tudo, porque, se eu me lembro bem, são mapas difíceis.
Welcome to the Exalted Plains, a place with a long and bloody history. Even now, the region is volatile. This was a front in a civil war. Now there's rebels called the Freemen of the Dales, recently emerged and adding to the chaos.
That will be all. Thank you.
With the rifts and the undead, the Arlesians have lost ground. Most have been driven back to their forts. We have to stabilize the region, allowing the Imperial Army to re-establish its presence. Good luck, Your Worship. You'll need it.
Eu lembro que esse mapa é bem chatinho, ele tem um dragão, né? Tem um puzzle, tu passa pra um outro lugar. Aí ele tem um dragão aqui também. De elétrico, acho que assim, né? Dano elétrico. Mas eu vou parar essa parte por aqui, pessoal. Como eu tava falando, eu vou dar uma explorada. E eu volto depois, acho que o próximo vídeo, ou eu vou estar matando dragões, pra eu poder finalmente conseguir fazer minha armadura. Eu não sei se essa aqui já é minha armadura fodona. Não lembro se eu consegui fazer. Enfim, matar dragões pra fazer armaduras e tals. Ou fazendo aqui jaz o abismo. Então é isso, gente. Obrigada pela companhia. Espero que vocês estejam gostando dessa saga. E a gente se encontra no próximo vídeo de Revisitando Dragon Age Inquisition. Um beijo e até mais.